These are your notes on writing algebraic expressions in case you were not here on Thursday. So once we open these up, if we look at the top, we're going to start there. It says, remember, an algebraic expression must contain at least one number and at least one variable. Remember, a variable is a letter, okay? So we are going to use the following steps to help us write an expression. Our first step is going to be look for key words to identify operations. Remember, operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So those are our operations. So we're going to look for key words that would identify which operation we need to use when writing our expression. After we look for the key words, we're going to choose a variable to represent the unknown quantity. So we're going to assign a variable. All right, we're going to give a word a variable. And then the last step we're going to do is to translate the words into the algebraic expression. So we're going to take the words and we're going to write an algebraic expression. So something has a number and a variable in it. And it will have an operation also. So right here are keywords that would help us identify different operations. So if I saw the word plus, add, sum, total, increase, more than, greater than, those all mean to add. Subtraction, minus, difference, we see a lot. Subtract, decrease, take away, how many more, less than, fewer than, subtracted from, those words all mean to subtract. Multiplication, times, multiplied by, product, remember product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Twice, tripled, if I have twice the amount of money someone else does, I have 2 times as much money as they do. Okay, triplets, that's triple the number of babies, so that would be 3 times as many babies. Remember, of, we see a lot, so of means to multiply, that's a key one. For division, we could have quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, divided by, split evenly. Okay, if I have a pizza and I split it evenly among people, like 5 people, that means I'm splitting the pizza into 5 different pieces, so I would be dividing it by 5. Okay, half, if I want half of something, okay, if I have $10 and I give you half of it, I would be giving you 5. That's 10 divided by 2, taking half of something. We're dividing it by 2. 1/3, 1/4. If I want a third of the pizza, I'm going to take the pizza and I'm going to divide it into 3 equal pieces. So like half would be dividing by 2. 1/3 would be dividing by 3. If I wanted a fourth of something, that would be dividing by 4. 1/5, 1/6, 1/7, so on. Okay, so here's some examples. We are going to take this first example and we are going to follow our steps up here. So we're going to look for a keyword to help us identify the operation. Then we're going to choose a variable and then we're going to write the actual expression. Okay, so looking down here at the bottom, the sum of a number and 8. Well, my keyword there that I see is sum. And I know that sum means to add. So I know I'm going to be adding, so that's the operation I'm going to be using. Now I need to assign a variable. So what do I not know? Well, I don't know what this number is. So the number, I need to assign a variable for that. So instead of number, let's write the letter N. Okay, N. I always like to pick the first letter of the word. Okay, so number starts with N, so I just pick N. It's easier for me to keep track of. When I see N, I know I'm talking about number because number starts with N. Now let's write the expression, okay? So when I'm writing the expression, I always like to start at the end and work backwards. That helps me keep my my operations in order. Now with addition, it doesn't really matter so much, but with everything else it does. So let's just follow the same rule. Okay, so I need the sum of a number and 8. So that would be 8 plus a number. So a number and 8. The sum of a number and 8. That would be a number plus 8 would get me the sum. Let's look at number 2. 10 years less than Susan. Okay, so let's look for a keyword that's going to help us figure out, am I adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? That would be less than. All right, so that means to subtract. Less than is subtract. Less than, subtraction. Okay, now let's assign a variable. So 10 years less than Susan. Well, I don't know how old Susan is, so Susan is my unknown. So let's say S for Susan. So I want 10 years less than Susan. So let's write our expression. We're going to start at the end and work backwards. So Susan minus 10. S minus 10, because we're using S for Susan. 10 years less than Susan. S minus 10. Let's look at number 3. Triple the number of questions. Well, my keyword there would be triple. Triple means to multiply by 3. Okay. Triple the number of questions. Well, I don't know how many questions there are, so that's my variable. So I'm going to use Q for questions. And I want to write the expression now, so I'm going to start at the end. Questions times 3. So the proper way to write that when we're multiplying is with the number first. So 3 times Q. Questions times 3, or 3 times questions. Okay, number 4, I want a 1/4 the number of pencils. So my keyword there is 1/4. If I want 1/4 of something, that means I am dividing. Okay, so dividing by 4. The number of pencils. Well, I don't know how many pencils there are. So I'm going to use P for pencils. And I want to write my expression now, so start at the end and work backwards. Pencils divided by 4. Pencils divided by 4. Another way to write that would be P over 4, because this line means divide. P divided by 4. Okay, and the last one, this is a 2-step. So 4 less than 6 times the number of questions. So if you're looking in here, there's 2 sets of keywords, less than and times. So less than means to subtract, times means to multiply. The number of questions, well, I don't know how many questions there are, so Q is going to be my variable. Okay, you could use N for number if you wanted to, because I don't know the number. That's up to you. So we're going to start at the end and we're going to work our way back. So I want the questions times 6. So 6 times the questions. And then minus 4. Minus 4. So I have 4 less than 6 times the number of questions. So that would be my expression. And this is how you write algebraic expressions. So remember, look for a keyword that tells you which operation to use. Identify your variable. And then start at the end and work backwards. That's the easiest way to write the equation, or the expression, excuse me. All right.